A very good evening and welcome to English News Bulletin here on Rwanda Television. We'll begin with the headlines. President Paul Kagame emphasized that it is time for Africa's youth to take a more active role in the continent's development. Alice Werimunderutu, the special advisor to the Secretary General of the United Nations, notes that while there was a failure of UN Security Council in preventing the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda, efforts should be made to track down those involved. On the international scene, the China International Import Expo has been enabling Global South countries to introduce their products to the China market, serving as part of the Belt and Road Initiative in supporting development goals. My name is Olivia and it's always a pleasure to have you with us. We'll start from this communiqué from the Office of the Prime Minister. On Saturday, November 9th, 2024, His Excellency Paul Kagame, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, chaired a cabinet meeting at Urugwiro village. The cabinet was briefed on the ongoing response to the Marburg virus outbreak. As of today, all Marburg patients have recovered and the outbreak has been controlled. The Ministry of Health continues to conduct routine surveillance and normal activities, including travel to and around Rwanda, are safe for the general public. The Cabinet approved the following draft laws. Draft law amending the law governing the Financial Intelligence Center. Draft law on prevention and punishment of money laundering, terrorist financing, and financing of proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. The Cabinet approved the following orders. Presidential order fixing the rate of contributions for the mandatory pension scheme, ministerial order determining compensatory benefits and cash value of benefits in kind under mandatory pension scheme, presidential order appointing members of the High Council of Rwanda Correctional Service, and Prime Minister's order determining composition, responsibilities, and functioning of the National Biosafety Committee. Prime Minister's order governing the National Counterterrorism Committee, the Ministerial order determining the modalities for permit application, its requirements and procedures of activities related to living modified organisms. Ministerial order determining modalities for award of public tenders related to innovation. The Cabinet approved Rwanda's participation in the program for the International Assessment Adult Competencies, PIAAC. The Cabinet made the following appointments. Dr. Claudine Uwera, Senior Strategic Advisor and Office of the Prime Minister. Ms. Maeva Seka Haguma, Deputy Principal Private Secretary, Office of the President. Ms. Michelle Umurungi, Chief Investment Officer, Rwanda Development Board. Dr. Pierre Damien Habumuremyi, Council Member, Rwanda Elders Advisory Forum. Ambassador Zaina Nyiramatama, Council Member, Rwanda Elders Advisory Forum. Ambassador Dieudonné Sebashongore, Council Member, Rwanda's Elderly Advisory Forum. The Rwanda Broadcasting Agency Board of Directors. Mr. Israel Bimpe, Chairperson. Ms. Viviane Muka-Kizima, Vice Chairperson. Ms. Solange Ayanone, Member. Mr. Michael Butera Mugasa, Member. Mr. Kivu Ruhorahoza, Member. Mr. David Tovi, Member. Ms. Anita D. Muhire, Member. The Minister of Finance and Economic Planning informed the Cabinet of the African Public Procurement Network's General Assembly to be hosted in Kigali from November 12 to 14th, 2024. The Cabinet also made this. The Minister of Trade and Industry informed the Cabinet of the Africa Industrialization Day to be celebrated on November 22nd, 2024 in Kigali. The Minister of Gender and Family Promotion informed the Cabinet of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence from November 25th to December 10th, 2024. The Ministry of Local Government informed Cabinet of the celebration of International Volunteers Day and 30 years of volunteerism in Rwanda scheduled on December 5th, 2024 in Kigali. The Minister in the Office of the President informed Cabinet of the celebration of the International Anti-Corruption Day scheduled on December 9th, 2024 in Muhanga District. The Minister of Sports informed Cabinet of Games and events to be hosted in Rwanda, and those Rwanda will be participating in abroad. Rwanda men's national football team will face Libya in AFCON 2025 qualifier match in Kigali, November 14th, 2024, and will play an away match against Nigeria on November 18th, 2024. Rwanda national basketball team will participate in the FIBA Afrobasket qualifiers in Dakar, Senegal, from November 22nd to November 24th, 2024. Rwanda national football team will compete against South Sudan in the CHAN 2025 qualifier matches, with the first game scheduled in South Sudan on December 22nd, 2024, and the return leg in Kigali on December 27th, 2024. Rwanda U20 men's handball national team qualified for the IHF Intercontinental Trophy, taking place in December 2024. This was done in Kigali, November 9th, 2024, signed by Dr. Edouard Ngirente, the Prime Minister. Moving ahead to other matters, the President of the Republic, Paul Kagame, emphasized that it is time for Africa's youth to take a more active role in the continent's development, and the head of state made these remarks at the unveiling of Timbuktu Health Tech Hub. Adam Skizera with more.
Dr. Fumi Adewala, one of the first 40 innovators at the Timbuktu Health Tech Hub, developed a technology designed to deliver medical services to people in rural areas. Same to Response Ashimye, they believe that innovation in medical technology is key to addressing healthcare needs and rich and soft communities.
Our impact is felt most in the rural hard-to-reach areas where people have no digital skills, they don't have digital tools. How do we reach them? We have telemedicine clinics that are powered by solar. They have AI remote devices that allows the doctor to do remote consultation and get real-time vital signs, listen to heart sounds from anywhere in the world. We have impacted more than 300,000 lives over the last 4 years. We're looking at scaling and reaching 5 to 10 million lives within the next 5 years. We partner with hospitals, labs, diagnostic centers to make sure that we can provide end-to-end solution.
We know of a problem that we have in Uganda because patients have to wait a long time before getting their appointments because the services are very far from the district hospital, so they have to go to the health center first, get an appointment, then they have to go to the district hospital. So with this, we are changing that so that they can get the services directly where they are at health centers.
Ahuna Eziakonwa, UNDP Assistant Administrator and Director of Regional Bureau for Africa, noted that the 40 startups selected for the first bootcamp cohort of the Timbuktu Health Tech Hub are uniquely positioned to drive impactful change.
So what we're talking about here is beyond just job creation. I want everyone to understand. Sometimes when we talk about entrepreneurship and we think we're just creating jobs for youth, we are enabling solutions for development. You know, UNDP turns 60 next year, 60 years old. By 60, you should be retiring. But this organization has not even scratched the surface in tackling development challenges on the continent of Africa. So we're renewing ourselves. And the reason why you find UNDP associating itself with this kind of initiatives is because we have found the secret. That after 60 years, it took a long time, we realized the reason why we largely missed the boat is because we neglected, ignored the young people. Most innovation that's happened in the world, it's been by young people.
President Paul Kagame emphasized that the renewed efforts are essential to turn this vision into reality.
It's no longer a dream, an idea. It's there, it's working. And we have to put in more energy and resources and ideas and, scale it up to reach wherever we intend that to reach, to benefit from the meaning of all that it carries with it.
President Paul Kagame emphasized that it is time for Africa's youth to take more active role in the continent's development.
So why not use this, which you always refer to as potential. Potential. You can't keep talking about potential for decades and centuries. You remember when we were entering this century, they said this is Africa's century. But which one was not ours? And why not? I think it has always been, it just passes us by, and so this time, this one is not going to pass us by, isn't it? So, and it is in this room, it's in other rooms where the young talent of Africa is well represented. But let's make it a reality indeed, like we have made Timbuktu a reality, and many other things will follow.
The Timbuktu Health Tech Hub is one of the 10 thematic hubs of the Timbuktu Initiative, which will incubate and accelerate startups that leverage technology to address health challenges across the continent. This hub provides a platform for innovators to collaborate, create, and scale impactful solutions that improve healthcare outcomes in Africa, and will be located in Kigali, Rwanda. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Adams, for the details. Now, moving ahead, Alice Werimunderitu, the Special Advisor to the Secretary General of the United Nations in charge of genocide prevention, notes that while there was a failure of UN Security Council in preventing the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda, efforts should be made to track down those involved and ensure that it does not happen again in the world. William Evans with more.
Alice Wailimu made those comments while addressing the media at the end of the series of workshops that focused on genocide prevention as a multimedia stakeholder effort.
Rwanda was clinically dead after the genocide because nothing was functioning. And I think it's really one of the wonders of this century that when you talk about Rwanda in this continent, we are talking about a first among equals, from being clinically dead to being a first among equals, a very strong country, a country that has developed very strong leadership. We see Rwandans in very crucial positions in many places around the world. The inspiration that has informed the discussions and deliberations by participants at these events has come from the understanding that what happened here in Rwanda must be prevented from happening again anywhere and at all times.
She added that after the failure of the United Nations in stopping the genocide, efforts should now be made to pursue those who participated in the genocide.
And by the time the million people are getting killed, it means we've completely failed in prevention. And as we often say, that the UN failed in this country. The UN failed in Srebrenica as well. And what happens is that then we have to rely on accountability. We have to rely on court processes. And for court processes, we have to ask ourselves, how many people can a court try? Rely so much, and I wish my colleague Saj Bramat was here, because often we speak with him, and we speak with him about the number of people who are indicted by the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, who are still free, who are still living free lives. Many of them, actually all of them, in countries that are member states of the UN. I've issued a number of statements calling them out, saying you are member states of the UN, you are hosting these people. These people are accused of this crime, the crime of genocide. They are accused of murder. You shouldn't be protecting them. You should find a way to either try them or bring them home.
CEO Aegis Trust, reflecting on the week-long workshop, said that it is valuable to see countries join forces to prevent genocide, and that the aim is to prevent genocide and crimes against humanity elsewhere in the world.
We feel that having a policy guidance that will help the practitioners, the state members of the UN, and many people who are interested to implement the prevention of genocide and the related crimes this would be very, very important. It's so significant for the Kigali Gens Memorial, very significant for Rwanda, but at the same time for survivors, to see there is an effort that's being put together to prevent genocide around the world.
A total of 72 policy recommendations focusing on taking genocide prevention to the grassroots are expected as key results of these workshops, are expected as key results of this conference at the end of the week. William Evans, Mtabazi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Evans, for the details. Now, moving ahead, the Minister of Youth of Libya, Honorable Fatala El Zuni, accompanied by the Ambassador of Libya in Rwanda, Ibrahim Sidi Ibrahim Matar, visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial and paid tribute to the victims of the genocide against the Tutsi buried in the memorial. This visit took place after Minister Fatala El Zuni attended the Youth Connect Africa Summit 2024, and the Libyan Minister of Youth stated that this visit should serve as a lesson for the youth of Africa. He acknowledged that while it is a painful lesson, it offers hope to the youth that we cannot return to times of genocide ideologies, and he advised African youth not to listen to those who speak negatively about the history of their countries. To more news, Indian investors in Rwanda, mostly in the Rubavu district, applaud Rwanda's governance, security and measures against the corruption as key in easing investment and development. Prince Manzi with more.
Amin Koja and his family have been in Rwanda since 2014. He's an entrepreneur in the Rubavu district. He applauds Rwanda's straightforward governance and security as the reason behind the investment and their plan of staying in here for a while. This is the same for other Indians in Rwanda, as they state.
And we are, first of all, we are very glad to our President, Mr. Paul Kagame, that they have given us opportunity to build our small business here, and everything is very, very fine. Everything is just fine. It is not, there is no corruption here. That is the very plus point, We can, when we go India, we can say very proudly that we are in that country where there is no corruption, zero corruption. Our president is like, very cooperative and very strict about this type of activities of corruption and what. So I think we would like more Indians to come here and explore another business ideas.
Security is here also, there is a lot of benefits, understood. If you compare to another country and here in Rwanda, so there is a lot of difference, understood. If you make stable your business, understood. So also in the tax paying system and everything, they are able to help us. And the government guys, everyone, they are like talkative person. They used to help us on each and every way. So for us, it's easy, understood.
Indian High Commissioner in Rwanda, Mrindo Pawan Das, affirms that the two nations are working together to smoothly develop their citizens for a better future.
I think we have Indian businesses which are looking forward to do business in Rwanda, because Rwanda has all the right, let's say, ingredients for business. Has the right investment climate, because Rwanda is politically stable, peaceful, safe, and so Indian businesses can come and operate here. Of course, also something very important, the Funda, tea estate, on the Silverback, the tea, which is company which has 3 estates here in, Rwanda, also provides employment to a lot of Rwandan, workers, and also helps a lot of farmers. So it's also contributing to the development of Rwanda, and it's of course bringing the two countries together. So I believe this is just a beginning of things. When there are strong people-to-people contacts and warmth and friendship between the two nations, I only expect businesses to flourish, trade and commerce to flourish, and I do hope that we can go not only reach our potential in terms of businesses operating in both countries and investments and all, but we can also take it forward, go beyond our potentials.
Indians have more than 3,000 business investments in Rwanda. The Rwanda Development Board report demonstrates that in 2023, India topped investments in Rwanda with an investment worth $175.2 million.
Thank you, Prince, for the details. Now to education sector. Students who previously struggled academically are now praising the new remedial learning program. The initiative aimed at helping these students improve their performance has seen many of them rise to the top in subjects they once found challenging. The program, supported by SOS Children's Villages Rwanda, currently involves schools across 8 different districts. Cedric Icyubahiro, a 6th grade student at JS Rushubi in the Juru sector of Bugesera district, shares his story of transformation. He recalls frequently struggling in school due to the heavy burden of household chores. However, his academic performance has significantly improved thanks to the remedial learning program, which has given him the support he needed to succeed. Before the remedial learning program, I would always come last in class. When it started, I told my mom that I started participating in it. She reduced my home chores and I started coming early at school. Christine Niomahoro, a 15-year-old 6th grader, is a testament to how determination and support can turn around academic performance. I started from zero. Before, I would get 20% in class, but now I get almost 87% in class or even 90%. The remedial learning program, supported by SOS Children's Villages Rwanda, has also helped shift parents' perceptions about their children's education and potential for success. Sometimes I would give him too many chores, but since this program started, I've realized how important it is for my child to study and improve. Teachers believe the remedial learning program is making a positive impact. Sisi Wamahoro, head of finance at SOS Children's Villages Rwanda, notes that when children receive proper support in school, they are given a better chance to succeed. We want to show the people of this country that children who struggle in school, when given proper support, can also thrive and succeed. In 2022, SOS Children's Villages Rwanda launched a remedial learning program for students scoring below 50%. The initiative now operates in 120 schools across 8 districts. To more news, investors selling electric motorcycles in Rwanda have begun partnering with motorcyclists who transport passengers, making it easier for them to access the motorcycles they need for the Rwandan market. As part of Rwanda's commitment to sustainability, the country is preparing to stop the issuance of licenses for gasoline-powered motorcycles, with electric vehicles becoming the only option. We have more. In Kigali, many people rely on gasoline-powered motorcycles for passenger transport, with recent figures from the Rwanda Environment Management Authority showing that 20% of daily trips in the city are made using these motorcycles. However, these vehicles are contributing to air pollution. In response, motorcycle drivers are seeking assistance to transition from gasoline-powered motorcycles to electric ones. We also want to get these electric motorcycles, even if it would require us to get loans or even finding money in other ways. While many people still rely on gasoline-powered motorcycles, an increasing number are beginning to recognize the benefits of electric motorcycles, which are becoming essential on the Rwandan market. These electric motorcycles do not pollute the air. Additionally, they benefit us in various ways. When you are using it, you get more benefit than those using gasoline-powered motorcycles. Investors importing and selling electric motorcycles in Rwanda have responded to the government's request by focusing on helping low-income motorcyclists. To make the transition easier, they are offering affordable motorcycles. Tuishime Muzamini, the swapping network manager at Cipro, a company that sells electric motorcycles in Rwanda, explains that this approach is aimed at supporting these drivers in acquiring the necessary vehicles at a lower cost. We initiated this project as part of the government's Clean Energy Plan and launched a program called Pledge Net Zero to promote the use of zero-emission vehicles. We sell each motorcycle for 1.8 million Rwandan francs, but to support motorcyclists, we have reduced the price to 750,000 Rwandan francs.
kubona babona moto zabo moto turayimanura tuyishyira ku 750.
The Ministry of Infrastructure recently announced that starting in 2025, gasoline-powered motorcycles will no longer be licensed to transport passengers in Kigali. This move is aimed at reducing emissions and protecting the over 23 billion Rwandan francs spent annually on importing gasoline for these motorcycles. In contrast, electric motorcycles require only 14 billion Rwandan francs annually for importation, making them a more sustainable option for the country. Tomorrow news, youth who have created jobs in various complementary fields confirm that working with others and sharing knowledge are key to enhancing skills and furthering personal development. And Nora Gladys with more.
A growing business area known as digital marketing is one of the sectors where youth engage in projects that drive their advancement. They confirm that implementing such projects becomes easier when there is collaboration.
My company, I'm able to give people jobs and they also provide for themselves. The impact is very big because my company hires a lot of people, especially when we have like an event. I have over 30 people working on one event. So all those people are making money and building themselves. So there's a lot of, even paying taxes, the government, I myself too. So there's a lot we can talk about.
Like us personally, I work with young people. I don't employ older people. I don't know why, but I can't work with them. I only work with young people, those who are willing to get their money on their own. Yes, and who understands, like young people, we understand each other, the mindset and everything. It helps us to develop each other financially and also grow as many businesses of young people. Yeah, like our country will have more young entrepreneurs in several careers.
The Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Otomatwishima Jean Nepo Abdallah, explains that when the youth of Rwanda works together, they gain more knowledge.
When young people in Rwanda meet with the other young people from across the continent, the first thing we have this intercultural exchange, which even expose our young people to the ways other young people in Africa work. The first lesson that young people in Rwanda study when they meet the other African, how do you pitch your business idea? So some of the young people across the continent, they know how to write and how to pitch their business ideas, and they can get the investors quickly. So that skills exchange between the young people is very important. Another thing that I have seen is the connection. They do the networking events, and after the summit, you would see young people trying to start businesses, joint ventures with other young people from the continent. So you would see young people exporting some agriculture produce to other countries where we have Youth Connect chapters. Lastly, it's sharing of skills. So we have different sessions, and whoever has other special skills, they meet together, they learn together, and I think at the end they grow together.
One of the objectives of the second National Strategy of Transformation of the Government of Rwanda NST2 is to create at least 250,000 jobs annually, where the youth are expected to play a significant role in this. Enora Gladys, RwandaTV News.
Still watching RwandaTV News now to matters making headlines globally. The China International Import Expo has been enabling Global South countries to introduce their products to the China market, serving as part of the Belt and Road Initiative in supporting development goals of countries such as Rwanda, which aims to become a middle-income country by 2035 and a high-income country by 2050. Prudence Sebahizi, Rwanda's Minister of Trade and Industry, says the expo helps raise recognition of Rwandan products and services among Chinese consumers. We have the details, courtesy of CGTN.
All right, let's get more discussions on Belt and Road cooperation. Plus, what more can the Global South do together to support each other's development? We are joined by Prudence Sebahizi, Rwanda's Minister of Trade and Industry. Minister Sebahizi, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Our theme today is about Belt and Road cooperation. We know that Rwanda is aiming to become a middle-income country by the year 2035 and a high-income country by 2050. How do you see the BRI supporting Rwanda's development goals?
Rwanda has set up its own objectives to double our exports and also to double the private sector investment in the country. So this Belt and Road initiative is a good opportunity for Rwanda to attract many investment from China in different sectors of the economy, ranging from agriculture, infrastructure, trade and development, and also renewable energy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the CIIE has been, I think, a major platform for Rwanda as well. Rwanda has been present at the CIIE now for 7 years in a row. How would you assess the CIIE as a platform to raise more awareness about products and services from Rwanda into the Chinese market?
The CIIE has given an opportunity for Rwanda's small and medium enterprises to come to China and showcase their products. We've been able to sign deals with Chinese companies that are already buying from Rwanda in a number of agricultural processed products. And at the same time, we use this CIE to speak to Chinese investors to give them the opportunity to see what type of products that are produced in Rwanda, to tell them more about our policy framework, how investors are facilitated when they come to Rwanda, what type of incentives the government provided to them. And also we do have so many other attractive tourist attractions that even Chinese tourists can come to see in the country.
I think tourism is going to be definitely a hot spot when it comes to further cooperation between China and Rwanda. I remember at a previous CIIE, your ambassador was doing a live stream and sold 3,000 packages of Rwandan coffee in a span of 3 seconds. So that was really quite impressive. Let me bring it back now to the broader picture. Again, the CIIE provides opportunities, of course, for advanced economies, developing economies, emerging and least developed countries as well. All part, I think, of the Global South, and we're talking about LDCs all the way to developing economies. What more do you think China can do with the Global South to support each other's development trajectories?
We have three big challenges that I think China can support the Global South to overcome. The challenge number one is the capital flow, the cost of capital, and also the availability of capital. And we know China is good at investment. If Chinese investors can bring capital to Africa, then we put that challenge aside. The other challenge is infrastructure. Because of the not as such advanced technology as China, our infrastructure is still at a very low stage, which I think we can leapfrog from China technological advancement and build infrastructure, adequate infrastructure, and also use the most recent technology. Now talking about energy and food security. These are two other challenges that the Global South faces. Despite availability of resources, natural resources, opportunities for agriculture, investment, and opportunities for climate resilient resources, we think China is a good opportunity for the Global South to deal with those challenges.
So capital, technology, infrastructure, agriculture, green energy, all of these areas China can better work with.
Definitely.
With the Global South. Okay, Minister Sebahizi, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time, Prudence Sebahizi, Minister of Trade and Industry of Rwanda. Thank you so much for your time, Minister.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
And this marks the end of tonight's bulletin, but before we leave, a reminder of our top stories. President Paul Kagame emphasized that it is time for Africa's youth to take a more active role in the continent's development. Alice Werimonderitu, the special advisor to the Secretary General of the United Nations, notes that while there was failure of UN Security Council in preventing the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda, efforts should be made to track down those involved. On the international scene, the China International Import-Expo has been enabling Global South countries to introduce their products to the China market, serving as part of the Belt and Road Initiative in supporting development goals of countries. And by this, we end tonight's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast. On behalf of the technical and news production team, we wish you a restful weekend. Until next time, goodbye.